Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Brittany, and in today's video I am so excited because in the mail today I received the Hela palette from Oden'S. This is in collaboration with Angelica Nyqvist. I am so excited to finally be able to play with this. I do hope that you will subscribe to my channel, so go get a snack, get comfy, and let's hang out. So we're just going to jump right on into it, showing you how beautiful this palette is. I have wanted to try Oden'S for as long as I can remember. I'm just so excited that I finally found a palette that I was like, yep, that's the one, I am getting it. I absolutely adore Angie. I love watching all of her videos. She just inspires me to play with color. She makes it look so easy and fun. So whenever this came in the mail, well, first off, let's talk about, the buying process. So I bought it on launch, like literally the second that it launched. It was so easy. I just hit add to cart. I paid. It was seriously that simple. It wasn't hard at all. There wasn't like any kind of weird website glitches because of all the traffic. It was super easy, and then it shipped I believe 2 or 3 days later it shipped, and then it got to me within 4 days of shipment, and this came all the way from Sweden. So I am so excited. So far so good with Oden'S. The packaging, it came in this beautiful green blue box. And this is the artwork that was on the inside, and it even came with this cute little scarf. I'm using it as a headband, but you can use it so many different ways. And let me just tell you, it is so soft. This is really good quality, and it even comes with this adorable little card written from Angie and Oden'S. It's just so sweet. And then the palette, the slip that it's in, it's kind of in black and white, and then as you pull it out, it's it reveals this beautiful colored palette. And I love how they did the slip versus a unicorn box, because you can keep it and it just slides right over it. So I'm just super excited to have this to protect my palette, and plus the artwork is absolutely stunning. So let me show you the inside of the palette. I'm sure if you're clicking on this video, you have already seen lots and lots of reviews. In today's video, I'm mainly just going to show you a 3 looks 1 palette, just to kind of show you some inspiration if you pick this up. But there are so many reviews on this palette doing swatches. I will link Angie's video down below where she is revealing it, kind of the backstory on this palette, and kind of why she named each shadow what. And then it comes with this little slip, so let me just pull that off. And on the inside, you get a stunning palette. This just screams spring to me. It's absolutely beautiful. The packaging is so sturdy. It came wrapped up in bubble wrap. So A+ with Oden'S experience so far, A+ with packaging. And I have done swatches, and this palette is so good. The shimmers look like they're going to perform amazing, and so do the matte. So I'm just so excited to play with it. So let's get into the first look. So I'm going to zoom y'all in, and then we'll get started. I do believe that this palette is still available. It's just limited quantities. So if you want this palette, go ahead and snag it up before it's gone, because as far as I know, this is limited edition. They may do a restock, but that's not always guaranteed. So definitely grab this palette if you want it, because you will not regret the packaging. It's so beautiful, and this color story is so unique and beautiful. I cannot wait to dabble in it today. So there have been so many reviews of this palette using highlighting all the green shades in this beautiful palette. So I'm going to kind of stick to the other tones. I will play with some greens in another video, but for this video, for the 3 looks 1 palette, I'm going to kind of focus on some of the other shades. For instance, the multi-chrome double-sided, that is calling to me because I've never played with a multi-chrome shadow, so I'm super excited. And the shade River, my dog's name is River, so I kind of have to use that shade. And then Hellfire, I love a good peach, and when my daughter saw this palette, she was like, "Mom, guess which one my favorite is?" I was like, "The peachy one." She said, "Yup." So she's already wanting to play with this too, but we're going to jump right on into it. And for the first look, I'm going to use Hellfire, and I'm going to do a halo look today. So I got all my eye brushes right here in front of me, and I am going to go into the shade Wolf right here. It is so beautiful. So my spirit animal, whatever, it's a wolf. I'm obsessed with wolves. I love everything about them. I absolutely love dogs, wolves, all of it. So I'm just super excited about this palette. It just kind of calls to me, and you know me, I'm a sucker for a good green shade. So right off the bat, there's like literally no kick up, and I'm just like putting Wolf into the crease, building it up for a good transition. And this is kind of like, in the best way, like a beautiful brownie pukey shade, but like a good pukey shade, you know what I mean? But this is building up beautifully, just like a nice base to start blending our other shades. So next I'm going to go into the shade Decay. It's up here. It kind of looks like a purpley gray, but we'll see what it looks like when it's all blended out. And you'll have to let me know, did y'all pick up this palette? When I saw it, I was like, yes, give it to me. I've got to have this in my life. It's absolutely beautiful. I am getting a little bit more kick up with that shade, but nothing like too crazy. And I'm just going to kind of put a little bit on the inner and the outer to build it up. Because I've never worked with Oden'S eye formula, so I just kind of want to proceed with caution because I don't want a big mess on my face. But these are like blending out as easy as Natasha Denona. I'm not even kidding. They are amazing. I'm really impressed for how good it's blending for such a dark, deep shade. Now I'm going to go into the shade Soot, which it's like this dark plum shade down here. I'm going to be very careful with it because it's super dark. And I'm going to just put that right on top of Decay. I love the way a peach looks with a plum dark purple, so that's kind of what I'm going for. I'm going to put Hellfire in the center for like a nice pop. But so far these are blending out really good on top of each other, especially for dark shades. It's looking stunning. I'm going to tap back into Wolf just to kind of connect the two so it's not such like a harsh line. I'm so impressed. I'm going to do exactly what I did on this eye on the other eye, so I'll be right back. Okay, so those shades blended so well with one another. Even though they were dark and deep, they are so easy to work with. I'm really impressed. Like, I'm not one to go for like lots of dark and deep looks, but man, these shades are blending out so good. And I did not have any kick up with Wolf, and I did not have any kick up with the shade Soot. Decay, I had just a little bit of kick up, but like nothing major, and I had no fallout. So for the star of the show, I'm gonna go into the shade Hellfire, which is right here. And first, before I go into that, I'm going to take a little bit of like eye base just to put down so those that shimmer can really adhere to it, just to kind of let it live its best life, you know what I'm saying? Man, it is so cold where I live. Now, okay, take that with a grain of salt. I live in Arkansas. It's in the 20s and it's freezing rain, sleet and snow, all that good stuff. So just, it's cold in my opinion. It's freezing. You know, whenever the roads get covered in snow around here, we all tend to freak out. So I'm at home with the fireplace on, and it's just so calming. So I picked up the shade Hellfire, and y'all, it's so beautiful. Even though in the palette it looks like a really peachy, on the lids it doesn't look too peachy in my opinion. So maybe if you layer, so if you put this shade Hela down first, this beautiful pink bubblegum, or the shade Goddess, that dark pink, and you layer Hellfire on top, it would definitely have more of a peachy look. But I did not do that, so it's just like, kind of like a very champagne soft with a hint of peach. But absolutely beautiful nonetheless. Even though I'm using my finger, I'm not getting much like texture enhancement, just, you know, in case y'all have any mature eyelids or you have any imperfections on them like me, just know it's not enhancing any of my texture at all. Now the top is done, and I'm just going to ever so slightly reach into the shade Double Sided, which is that beautiful multi-chrome, because I just feel like it would give a nice shift to the look. So I'm gonna just a little bit pop that in just to kind of see how it looks on the lid. That really gives it more of a peachy look, just adding that shade on here. How beautiful. I'm obsessed. I love it. I knew I would, but I'm just so excited that it's like lived up to the expectations and all the hype. So now I'm going to play on the lower lash line to kind of balance out the look, and I'm going to go into the shade Wolf, which is the beautiful transition shade. And I'm just going to pop that on the lower lash line on both eyes. I'm not doing anything fancy on the lower lash line because I want the top of the eyes to kind of be like the star of the show, but let me just tell you, it was really hard not to put a green on the lower lash line. I really like to take a super colorful palette like this one and just kind of get a neutral look. I kind of challenge myself to play with color, but kind of keep it toned down. Here's what we are looking like now. I just added mascara, and this could be done, but I want to add a pop of green in the inner corner. So right now this is like a super neutral look in my opinion, and all the shades that I played with today worked so good together, but I really want to go into this fluorescence, this like beautiful lime green, and I want to pop that on the inner corner just for like a fun pop. I absolutely love doing like a super neutral look with a fun pop. I think it just adds so much fun to the look, and I'm just going to pop that in the inner corner. Okay guys, so this is the finished look for number 1. I absolutely love it so much. How beautiful, and I love that pop of green in the inner corner. So definitely a good decision. So we are going to jump into look number 2. So the star of the show for look number 2 is going to have to be River. That shade looks absolutely stunning, and I already primed my lids, and I didn't know, but the camera wasn't recording, and all I did, I put Wolf in the transition just to kind of give us a nice base to work with. And River has like a little bit of a pinky purpley shift, so I'm going to pop into this beautiful like bubblegum pink just a little bit to run it in my crease for like a pretty pink pop, but not too much. I'm just kind of curious to see how pigmented this is. So right off the bat, it's not like too like boom pink in your face. Like you can tone it down, and it looks like you can build it up as well. I love that. I hate it when a color like you pop into it and it's just so pigmented. You're like, oh great, well what am I supposed to do with it now? You know what I mean? So even though the shade Hela is so like boom bold in the pan, you can get it very soft on the transition like I did, and I feel like we couldn't use the Hela palette without using the shade Hela, so I had to pop that in my transition. And now I'm going to go into the shade Soot just to kind of build up right here that outer edge. It's kind of like that purpley shade, and I think that will look so good with River. So I'm just gonna get a little bit and just pop it right on the inner corner for like some depth and just work that out. And now that I've already played with this shade, it's super buildable, and you don't get any fallout. As much as you need to blend and, you know, build up, the shade is absolutely perfect for a dark deep shade. So I just did the exact same thing on the other eye, and now I'm going to go back into the shade Wolf just to kind of help blend out that dark deep shade that we put on the outer corner. Now I'm going into the shade Soot and just popping it on the outer edge for some added definition to help lift my eye. And I'm doing the same thing over here. I'm kind of flicking it out too. Okay, so now that I have all those blended out, I'm going to use some concealer and kind of cut the crease. I'm just going to go into my ABH Magic Touch Conceal to kind of clean up where I have been blending. I absolutely love the bling brushes, the E14 from the Starry Nights collection, to help cut the crease. It just helps it blend so good without like messing up your eyeshadows underneath it. And I do have hooded eyes, so I'm kind of bringing the concealer up a little bit higher than like someone normally would, just so whenever my eyes are open you can still see the eyeshadow. Okay, and I know the cut crease is kind of like, whoa, looking crazy right now, but I'll go back in and kind of blend where there's a harsh line and fix it. So I'm going into the beautiful shade River, this absolutely stunning duochrome. It's like purple, blue, pink. I mean, honestly, it's kind of like a multi-chrome. There's so many different shifts to it. I think this may be my favorite shade in the palette. It is absolutely beautiful. And I'm just taking that on with my finger to get like the most pigment. Okay, so now that I added River all over the lid, I'm going to go back into the shade Soot and just blend so there's not like a harsh line. And by the way, I will say that the shade River, like, it enhanced my textured lids like a lot. So I would definitely, with that shade, use like a fluffy brush, spray it, and just use it as a topper so it doesn't enhance all of my texture. But absolutely stunning shade. That's why, you know, you just have to play with it and kind of learn the shadow. But man, these shades are so beautiful and pigmented. I cannot believe that they can do this bomb formula for this low of a price. I'm just saying that, y'all, these shimmers are just as good as Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath, I will say. Okay, so now I have blended out that harsh line. Now I'm going to go back into the shade Hela, that beautiful bubblegum pink, and place that on the lower lash line towards the inner part of my lid, just for some pink in the look. Now, I will say the shade River, it depends what it's going to look like based off what you pair it with. So if you pair it with pinks, it's going to show some more of that pink shift. Whereas if you pair it with Soot, like I did, it's going to do that like blue purpley look. So I just love how these colors really can change depending on what you use them with. So I'm just going to put double-sided in the inner corner for a fun pop. I'm going to bring double-sided just a little bit on the lid because this is layering so freaking pretty on top of the purple. It's just doing like a beautiful shift, and I've got to have it on my lid. I just can't get over how shifty these shadows are. I know like I'm repeating myself, but guys, holy moly. Okay guys, so this is the finished look for look number 2. I am in love with this look. How stunning are these eyeshadows? They are so shifty and multi-chromatic. I'm just like, it's blowing my mind. I don't know why I've slept on Oden'S for all this time. Like, I need more of their palettes in my life. This is like an amazing, amazing quality, guys. I just want to let y'all know that these shadows perform so well. So here's look number 2, and I really don't want to wash it off because it's so stunning, but I will be right back with look number 3. Okay guys, so we are on the last look, and I knew for this look, this is the one I'm most excited about because whenever I saw the promotional pictures for this, I knew I wanted double-sided all over my lids. But I wanted to layer that on top of the shade Complete. So this isn't going to be like a ton of shadows. It's going to be like a very super easy look to get. This is like a 2-in-1. You're done. If you're just trying to get a super beautiful, stunning look to hurry up and do and get out the door, this is that look for you. So what I'm going to do, I am going to get a fluffy brush. I'm going to dig into the shade Complete. So now that I have Complete on my brush, I'm going to spray that so I do not get fallout. So I'm just going to get my setting spray and give her a spray and start packing that on my lid. And I did put down some eyeshadow base just because this is my third look, you know, and my eyes are kind of sensitive, so I wanted to give it like a fair shot. So this is like a very super dark look. I know it might look black on camera, but in person it has just a beautiful like midnight blue shift. It's absolutely stunning, and I'm going to put this on the other eye as well. Just get it all over my fluffy brush and then give it a spray and go ahead and start working that on in. And I did not set my eye base. I'm just literally putting it right on top so I can get most like opacity as possible. I'm not really getting the amount of pigment that I want through a brush, so I'm just gonna literally go in with my finger so I can get the most payoff and just pop that all over the lid. Now, as you can see, layered on top of that midnight blue, it is such like a shifty color. So I am seeing green, pink, peach, blue, purple. Literally, I'm seeing all of the colors with it layered. I absolutely love this shadow, so keep this in mind. This is my first multi-chrome shadow that I have ever played with, and now I'm hooked because it's such an easy look just to put one and done all over the lid. This look kind of took a turn for like a mermaid vibes, and I am like living for it. It looks like super green in person, so I am going to kind of play off of that, and I'm going to add some greens on my lower lash line. I am dying to go into the shade Moss right here and just put that on my lower lash line. So I'm trying to see if I layer the shade Moss down here, if my lid will kind of pull more green. Oh yeah, it is. It's definitely pulling more green. How freaking pretty is this? So to get a little bit of definition on the lower lash line, I'm going, I don't know how to pronounce this, Aboros, I don't know, this beautiful like teal green blue. I'm just going to add a little bit on the lower lash line to really bring out the teal on my lid. Okay guys, so this is the last look. This is look number 3. I think it looks absolutely amazing. So what I did, I added my Tarte Fake Awake as in the lower lash line for eyeliner, and then I added mascara, and I just kind of stamped on. I mixed the shade Soot and Ouroboros, whatever that shade name is, and I just kind of used that as liner. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I love how it kind of turned like a beautiful mermaid green look. So just off my first impressions, this palette is literally amazing. I am so happy I picked this up. I'm so glad that this is like my first Oden'S palette, because it's so special to me, because I love Angie and now I'm obsessed with Oden'S formula. This is literally amazing, guys. Don't sleep on it like I did. Pick this up before it is gone. These shadows are absolutely stunning. My favorite in here is definitely double-sided, which is a multi-chrome. I am in love with the shade River. It's absolutely beautiful duochrome. In my opinion, it's almost like a multi-chrome. It just depends on how you layer it. Hellfire is absolutely stunning. All the mattes blended out so beautifully. I'm obsessed with the shade Soot. It's an amazing dark deepening shadow, and the shade Wolf is like my perfect transition shade. I cannot wait to play with these greens as well. If you would be interested, I would love to make another video creating some fun looks with the greens. Just let me know what you all want to see, and please, I would love to know, what was your favorite look today? Did you like look number 1, number 2, or number 3? I'm obsessed with all 3. If I had to pick, I'm just a sucker for greens. I don't know. It would be between this and look number 2. Let me know if you either picked up this collection or if you plan to pick up this collection. But I just want to let y'all know, don't forget, this is limited edition and there's a limited quantity, so snag it up while you can. Wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe. Stay beautiful. Bye, guys.